George Clooney played Batman in the 1997 movie titled Batman and Robin, directed by the late Joel Schumacher. Regarded as the worst Batman movie of all time, and I think it's the lowest grossing one too. Look, I look at that movie as more of a tribute towards Adam West, a campy, kids type Batman movie that Joel Schumacher was going against the studio over, and I can have some fun with it. I really, really can. It's not perfect. It's not amazing, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. I actually think the opening sequence between Batman and, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze was actually pretty good, in my opinion. I actually do like that. But, anyway guys, the Flash movie is coming out in 2022, and it's a multiverse movie. We've got numerous Batmans showing up. Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck are returning. We've got Sasha Calle, maybe the rest of the Justice League. I would love to see Nicolas Cage appear as Superman. I really, really would. But could we see Mr. George Clooney appear as Batman once again in the Flash movie? It could be redemption for him. He's kind of the butt of the joke about being Batman. He makes fun of it himself. I love that kind of personality from George Clooney where he has fun with the idea that he's the worst Batman of all time in the worst movie. But, it could be redemption for him. He's a big star. George Clooney is a huge star. Look at his numbers. In terms of box office, streaming numbers, he's pretty popular with people. So to have him appear in the Flash movie would actually gain a lot of momentum and hype for that film. It really, really would, even though he's playing a character that is bad when he played it back in 1997. But he was on the press tour for his new movie, The Temple Bar, which stars actually another Batman, Ben Affleck, and George Clooney directed this movie, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. And there's talk of Ben Affleck maybe being nominated for an Oscar or up there in contention for one because of how good he is in this movie. But during that press tour, he was asked, George, what about the Flash movie? Have they called? Are they going to look at, George Clooney to come back as Batman for the Flash movie because it's a multiverse movie? We've got all the other Batmans coming, and this is what George Clooney had to say.
The Flash hasn't asked you to be in?
Well, the truth is I didn't want to do it. No, they didn't ask me. When you destroy a franchise the way I did, usually they look the other way when the Flash comes by.
The best nipples, though?
I did have great nipples. It was winter all the time with me. And that.
I'm not going to ask about. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I asked.
You won't let me watch it.
No.
He won't let you watch it.
There's certain films I just go. I'm afraid I want my wife to have some respect for me.
So there you have it. George Clooney will not be in the Flash movie. Well, he could be lying, and he could actually be in the movie, but I don't think he will be. I really, really don't. I just don't think it's going to be that type of movie. Maybe Tim Burton's Batman movies are canon, but maybe Joel Schumacher's ones are not. But actually, maybe everything is canon in this Flash universe, or it could just be the Burtonverse and the DCU. That's all that's really canon. But I think it would be cool to see the Batman and Robin Batman world with George Clooney, just for a glimpse, just for a second, or the timeline where Nicolas Cage was Superman that never happened. Stuff like that is pretty cool, and we might get Easter eggs and hints towards that in the movie, but we actually might not go into those worlds and actually see the characters or the actors. But George Clooney, I actually think with the right script, the right director, he would be an amazing Batman. I think even if he was in Batman Forever, which Val Kilmer was amazing, he would have been really good as well. It's just Batman and Robin the studio messed with it a lot. They wanted kids, toys, all that kind of stuff, and that's what they got. And Joel Schumacher perfectly delivered the type of movie that they wanted. It just didn't hit home with the audiences enough to be a big hit. And Joel Schumacher isn't a bad director. He's one of the best directors of all time. And I think originally he wanted to do a darker Batman script with Val Kilmer, but the studio wanted them to put more jokes and stuff. That's why there's a big campaign for #release the Schumacher cut, because I think there's like 40 or 50 minutes of on-scene footage which makes the film actually darker. So imagine if Joel Schumacher got to actually make a dark Batman movie. George Clooney would have been perfect for it. He really would have. But he's not going to be in the Flash movie, unfortunately. I think it would be cool. I really, really do. But I love how George Clooney takes the joke not too seriously when people bring up Batman and Robin and his portrayal as the character. But guys, what do you think of George Clooney not being in the Flash movie? Are you disappointed? Do you like Batman and Robin? Do you want to see the Schumacher cut? Do you think he would be a great, serious Batman, George And now Clooney? That I'm looking at the picture of George Clooney and Ben Affleck, it's not called the Temple Bar, it's called the Tender Bar. That's because there's a bar here in Ireland called Temple Bar, and that got me a little bit confused. So it's not Temple Bar, it's The Tender Bar, directed by George Clooney and starring Ben Affleck, and I'm looking forward to checking that one out big time. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe for the channel if you really like movies as much as I do, for all the latest movie, TV news, reviews, all that kind of good stuff. Come follow me on all the social media accounts as well, at Movies That Matter on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm also on TikTok as well, where I give kind of 60-second news, breakdowns, and reviews just in a short format if you like that kind of stuff as well, guys. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next video, guys.